The other lessons I've learned along the way are to work harder than anyone around you. At a base minimum, if you do everything else wrong, as long as you work harder, you will solidly gain ground. Surround yourself with the smartest, most motivated people you can find, and most importantly, solicit their advice at every turn. Never stop believing in your ability to overcome the many obstacles you do and will continue to face. And most importantly, never, ever stop learning. And towards that end, I want to share with you a valuable lesson that I recently learned. Many of my management team have been with me for years and years, 12, 15 or more years. And over the time, we've fallen into a pattern of trust and very comfortable communication that some other companies might find too informal. And while we constantly come up with new ideas, we rarely, if ever, spend much time in formal planning for the future of those ideas. What happens in practice is we all know what to do, and we simply just go about doing it. A couple of years ago, my company and some of the folks in it created a truly unique, I would say revolutionary technology that we believed would greatly benefit the way IT operations gets done today. And in our typical management fashion, we all went about the work of moving it forward, and as usual, without a formal business plan. And while we were seeing signs of success and movement for our technology, things simply were not advancing at the rate I would have anticipated for a technology that I thought held so much promise. And then 6 months ago, my son, who's a junior majoring in business, told me that he was entering a business plan competition at the University of Notre Dame, and he asked if I would help him by reviewing his submission. Of course, I agreed. First thing I did was read the rules. I was quite surprised to find that the rules allowed for a Notre Dame alumnus to also participate in the business plan competition. Having graduated from there myself, it gave me an idea. I called my team together, and I asked them to enter the competition and do their level best to not just compete, but to win it. My thinking was this: given the familiar relationships that we all enjoyed in our business and the myriad distractions that we faced every day and all the other things that would intersect us along the way, my simply telling them to go write a business plan around our new technology would likely get derailed, run over by events, or simply fade into a background task. You all know how that goes. But here in front of us was a structured process driven by deadlines and deliverables that would force us to stay on track and piece by piece think through in elaborate detail exactly what we were trying to do, build a mission statement, build an executive summary, and ultimately build a full-blown business plan which had to stand the test of 24 very experienced judges. And being highly competitive people by nature, I was pretty sure that the fact that this was a contest would drive my team to actually focus on this and try to win. Well, here's the outgrowth of that story. We started as one of 140 competing companies. We made it to the semifinals, and then we got invited to the actual finals, where we went on to the Notre Dame campus to deliver our plan. And it would be a glorious story if I could tell you we won, but we did not. But something amazing happened along the way. The process of forcing ourselves to clearly think through and articulate our value proposition began to have an undeniable effect. About halfway through the contest, I started noticing a distinct change where every one of my team members was now using a common vernacular to describe our technology, common set of terminology. They're thinking about the application and what we could do with it and how to commercialize it was beginning to coalesce in a way that I had not seen happen with us before. And today, we are in deep strategic talks with some of our largest partners and our largest customers about licensing this technology. And I believe that is not an outgrowth that we would have enjoyed had it not been for the process of formal thinking that we had forced ourselves to undertake. So the takeaway is this: no matter how busy you are or how confident you may be that you know in your head exactly what you are trying to accomplish, there is still a great value in undertaking the process of putting your ideas to paper in a highly structured and exacting way. It will yield a value that is hard to describe until you have experienced it. And the more people you can involve in the process, the better. And the more critical you are of your own ideas, the better still. And if you trust me on nothing else I've said today, please trust me on that. In closing, I want to touch on something of great importance to me, and I hope to you as well. Truly successful entrepreneurs always find the time, the means, and the energy to give back to others around them. And moreover, I know they always derive great satisfaction from having done so. So despite the success I've been lucky enough to enjoy with companies I've founded since I've been to Austin, I have really never forgotten or taken for granted how the city of Austin, the University of Texas, and the people of Austin welcomed me and my family here. And although I've been in Austin for over 20 years and both my children were raised here and we very much call it home, I still feel a sense of responsibility to pay back or perhaps even pay forward my debt to the city. And moreover, I've learned from having done that many times that every ounce of effort I have ever poured into a public initiative has come back to me many, many times over. So I'll end with this, folks. Go forth and build great companies. Employ thousands. Generate value and create better products. Help buoy the economy of both of our nations. But never, ever forget that you owe some of your success to the other people in this room, the TechBA staff, the Mexican government, the people of Austin, and everyone who gave you a helping hand or even a passing glance along the way. Give back at every opportunity. Inspire a new generation of entrepreneurs. Share your success with those around you, and you will enrich yourself in the process. So for the many of you whose journeys are just beginning, here, yes, the challenges are immense. But I believe the rewards are greater still. For it is entrepreneurs like you that weave the economic fabric that supports families and fuels economies. So I'll end as I started. Congratulations to all of our graduates here today. Now get out there and build great companies. Thank you for the opportunity to speak, Luis. And I very much appreciate being here with you all today. Congratulations.